President Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, saying Mueller plans to wrap up the investigation by September 1st, he claims, but only if Mueller is able to interview the president by mid-July. Well, Harvard Law professor emeritus Alan Dershowitz was on Fox and Friends this morning and explained why this may prove, he said, to be a double-edged sword.
If the president can put this behind him by September 1st, by sitting down in a limited capacity with questions that he can answer, that would be a good thing. But, you know, the Mueller people could then say, oh, based on the questions and the answers,
we need to prolong it.
We need another month,
But
another
I want
2
you to
months.
hear. And this all comes as the president is demanding an investigation of what he calls a spy in his campaign. Well, joining us now is Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano with the latest. Let's talk about this. Well, he calls him a spy. An alleged FBI informant.
Right.
Is it illegal to have an informant reach out to campaign officials? Oh. Does that mean he's investigating the campaign or the officials?
It's a great question. We don't know enough facts, but I can tell you what the law is. First of all, we know who this professor is, but Fox has chosen not to use his name, even though other media outlets have. If it is this person, he is a well-known intelligence resource that was utilized by the Reagan administration and both George Bush presidencies. If he was sent there by the FBI to gather evidence of crimes, that's the moral equivalent and the functional equivalent of a search under the Fourth Amendment. And in order to justify that, the FBI would need a search warrant. And in order to get the search warrant, they'd have to present evidence of crimes going on in the campaign to a federal judge to get the search warrant. If all that happened, then as outrageous as this sounds, his presence was lawful. If it was short of that, that is, if he went there to chat with people to see what information he could get from them to report back to the FBI, and there was not a search warrant, it was an outrageous violation of the civil rights of the people in the campaign. The campaign as an entity doesn't have civil rights, but everybody that works there does.
Well, according to the New York Times, this, quote, informant was sent to have these discussions. Drinks, paid $3,000, you know, for a paper. Talked with the Carter Page. The reports are Carter Page, George Papadopoulos, and Sam Clovis.
Right. Okay. So Sam Clovis left the campaign. George Papadopoulos has pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. Carter Page is sort of a notorious character that is sometimes in the middle of this and sometimes not. Who at one point claimed he worked for the Kremlin, another point claimed he worked for the CIA, and both of them seem to be denying it. The $64,000 question, Eric, is this: who sent the professor? Was he sent by American intel, for which he is known to have worked, because of the insatiable appetite for raw intelligence about innocent Americans that the American intelligence community has, or was he sent by the FBI to gather evidence of crimes? If he was sent by intel, it's wrong, but probably not criminal. If he was sent by the FBI without a search warrant, then President Trump is right. We have one of the greatest political scandals on our hands, because who sent him would be the FBI under the Obama administration. Where did that information go? Did it make its way back to the West Wing and then to Hillary while she's combating with Donald Trump in a campaign for the presidency? I mean, that's the fear. I mean, if that happened, it's the type of surveillance that we have not seen or known about in modern American history.
Well, Judge, what about those who say that this would be legitimate, that there were legitimate concerns that Russia was trying to influence the election, and that sources saw Carter Page maybe meeting with people, they picked up intel in the Kremlin, this sort of thing.
Right.
And that is the basis for this investigation, to find out what the heck was going on.
Again, it depends who sent the professor.
Yeah.
Your analogy is sensible and lawful if he was sent by intel. Mm-hmm. If he was sent by law enforcement to gather evidence they want to use, or to gather evidence they want to use to get another search warrant, they need a search warrant to start that, to get him in.
And who will find this out? Will the IG Horowitz find this type of information out, or should it be Nunez in the House?
You know, when I read about this yesterday afternoon, I thought the president was asking for a criminal investigation. Instead, he got a rather low level, below the radar screen, sort of lukewarm investigation by the IG.
Well, maybe he wants more than that. Maybe he
Well,
wants a criminal investigation.
We'll see what the IG comes up with. If he comes up with evidence of crimes, he's ethically required to pass that evidence on to the prosecutors in the Justice Department.
And what about the struck text saying this was being run out of the White House? That seems to be a reference to the Russia investigation. But could that jump the shark and be go beyond that?
Here's the other $64,000 question. and this is not my phrase, this is James Freeman in this morning's New York Times. Where the heck was Barack Obama? What did President Obama know about this? There's another Peter Strzok text, and I know there are 5,000 of these, and you can pick and choose whoever you want, but there's another one that says, the White House wants to know everything we're doing. The White House wants to know everything the FBI is doing to surveil the Trump campaign? Wow.
Well, could it be no? The White House wants to know everything they're doing to find out Russian influence in the campaign and in the election to change the election.
That's the innocent explanation.
And
the more sinister one is the White House wants to know what Trump is up to pass it on to Hillary. I don't know when we'll find the answer to this, if ever. But the people that the Inspector General is investigating as we speak are all former officials of the FBI and the DOJ. I don't think any of them are still there.
So it'll be under investigation.
Yes.
We'll see. All right,
yes.
Judge. Thank you as always.
You're welcome, guys.